and welcome to Tibalt's Apprentice. Bart,
How you doing?
I am thrilled to have you here. Couple of reasons. First of all, so I can take credit for introducing you to the game of Magic.
Okay.
But also, you represent somebody that's outside of my normal play group. Not that we haven't played with each other, but we don't play with each other on a regular basis.
Right.
So, the idea behind Tibalt's Apprentice initially was to get lots of people's different opinions on playing opening cards and opening hands and stuff like that. We're going to see what it morphs and evolves into eventually, but for right now, I thought it'd be nice to have you join me and talk to you a little bit about your play group. At this point, I'm looking for all different levels of players from all different walks of life, from all different areas. So, tell me a little bit about your play group.
Let's see, we run basically a shark pit.
Okay.
There's about 4 to 5 of us, sometimes 6,
Mm-hmm.
when my daughter plays.
Okay.
And basically, it's like the old days. Like, whoever's getting beat up, that's when
That's the one everybody else
goes
beats
out.
up on. Okay.
And then the next person who's next,
Okay, so fair enough. So you're playing kitchen table Magic, basically, where you're not really going to a game shop, or you're not even necessarily doing it at your house or whatever, but you're finding some place to play. Oh. So you were saying you had a place that you played on a regular basis.
Play at the Elks Lodge.
Okay.
I'm a Elk member.
Okay, and so you got access to that. So that brings up the next question for me is, who settles your conflict? Since you're not necessarily playing somewhere where there's a judge.
Eric does.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been playing as long as we have.
Okay.
But he's played constantly all this time, and he's really up on the rules, and he's memorized a lot of stuff and keeps track of all the different stuff because he pushes out stuff on Facebook to let us know how to do arguments. Because me and another player, Frank, we argue a lot about different things. Cause
the mechanics of the game.
We don't see things eye to eye.
Okay,
on
fair
how
enough.
he reads the card and how I read the card.
Gotcha.
I use English myself, but
So when it comes down to it, that's obviously it's important because when we play, we rely on Enrique, and I'm talking about the play group that I normally play with on Friday nights. And since we are playing places like this, like we're on the Comic Bug side of Game Hub, but that gives us access to judges. So we actually have tournament judges that we can talk to get that. But it's not like the old days where you just had that book or you had the little pamphlet that came with it and you had to
I still got my book. The little
I
brown
still
one,
have it.
Yeah, I found it the other day. I was like, oh wow, another dinosaur.
None of this applies exactly.
Yeah.
Throw that whole thing in. But luckily there's the internet, so you can get a lot of those things answered at this point.
That apps, a lot of apps.
A lot of apps and stuff. So, talking about deck building, well, first of all, you haven't played Magic continually since we started way back at Revised.
No, I've played, then I sold my cards off, and I played, bought more. Same thing I did with comic books. I get them, then I collect them, then I'm like, I need money, I sell it off, But let's see here. What got me back into playing cards this time was Eric.
Mm-hmm.
He said he played. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I still have cards. Like, where are those cards at? I went and dug them out. I went and dug these old decks I had that I didn't sell off, so I forgot the guy's name, a friend of ours. And I said, okay, well, I got something to play with. And then I started, you can buy cards now at Walmart, and Target.
Get them anywhere.
Anywhere.
Exactly. We encourage people to shop local. Buy them at the local store if you can, but you can't always do that. Yeah. So, yeah, you can get them online.
I bought decks over when I went to send my dad for his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple of decks there for me and my daughter to play because we didn't bring any cards with us. And I figured, okay, this is this and that's that. I was like, we'll just play these decks where they are, and then we'll tear them up later.
Tear them up and use them for parts later when you get them. Okay. So that brings up the next question then. What do you look for when you build a deck? What's your thought process that goes into building that deck?
I like to frustrate people.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I do. The group I play with is kind of interesting. Eric really likes to frustrate people. He likes to baffle people. When you have Frank, he just likes to pummel you usually.
Okay.
It's either he'll pummel you or he'll try to mill you.
Okay.
And then Reese, he likes to play the non-colored stuff
The Eldrazi.
Yes.
And the other, okay.
He loves the Eldrazi stuff.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
And then we have these people we play together with and everything else, and everybody has like different attitudes about how they do it.
Absolutely.
I like to frustrate. I'll do let's see here. I'm vengeful. You know how I am.
Sure.
You know, I was getting beat up by Reese one time, and basically my next time I played with him, I had a couple of what are those things called? I can't think of the card, but it gets you a half of your deck.
Ah, okay.
Traumatize. That's
nice.
it. Traumatize. I hit him with that twice.
Nice. Okay. Well, I can't help but I have to mention we actually have a live studio audience this time.
Oh, okay.
And I'm glad that he's here. Brian, we're talking about favorite decks. And since I mentioned during the very first episode that Brian was the creator of one of my favorite decks, he'll be here to watch me play it. I'm playing a slightly modified version of it, but we're talking about favorite decks. Bart's told us what he likes to frustrate people while he's playing. When you look for that, do you build locks into your deck, or do you just find ways of wiping the board and resetting it?
Well, since I'm in a shark pit, I'm not paying one-on-one, so it's not really fast, so I have time to build up. Once I play like Sweden as best I can, instigate other people to kill each other off, Oh, don't attack me! Look at this, what he has.
You're playing the politics game.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then after I get enough where I'm able to do something, then I go and walk over everybody.
Nice. Okay. Well, you have one of those decks here today?
I sure do. I have this one. It's called Squirrel.
Okay. I am suspecting that it's going to help you cast squirrels then.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any particular cards that stand out in that deck?
Let's see here. Well, I have these. The Earl of Squirrel.
Yes, I'm familiar with that one. Okay.
I like this one,
Yes.
This is pretty neat. And then, where's this other one I have? Here it is. This one right here. I know you'll see that like that.
Ah, I see.
That, hooked up with the squirrels.
Archetype of finality. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That hooked up all the squirrels and everything else.
So what I'd like to do, and because this is called Tibalt's Apprentice Luck of the Draw, I'd like to, I'm going to arrange the camera. I'm going to have you shuffle up your opening hand, throw a die, see whether you go first or whether you're on the draw, whether you actually play it, and have you draw those first 7 cards and see what an opening hand looks like for you.
Okay.
Cool. All right, Bart, if you will, grab that 4-sided dice and toss it into that little black bucket with you. Before you do that, we should probably determine whether you're going to be on the play or whether you're going to be drawing. So we'll say evens. You're going to draw your 7 cards and you'll play first, so you don't get to draw a card.
Right.
If you get odds, you'll play and you'll get to draw that card. Your opponent will have already made 1 play.
Okay.
All right, so let's throw that die again.
Okay.
And it's even.
Yeah, even.
All right, so draw those 7 cards, and let's see what we got here.
Just lay them out?
Yeah, just lay them out. You weren't kidding about being old school. I see one of my favorite old cards there. Actually, I see a couple of my favorite old cards there. So, a couple of Animate Deads,
Yeah.
Swamp, Earl of Squirrel, Agent of Fates, Archetype Finality, and a Forest. So, you happy with that opening hand?
Yeah.
All right. What's your first play at this point, and what are you looking for? What are you going for? What are you thinking as you see those first 7 cards?
Well, first thing I'm going to open my swamp out.
Okay.
Okay. So, put that up like so. And then I would just pass it to the next person.
You don't have a lot to go.
Can't do anything else.
So at this point, the reason you're playing that swamp, though, I'm assuming is the majority of your deck tips the towards black.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and pull that next card. We'll assume that your opponent hasn't done anything yet. Where are we going from there?
Up. Green comes out.
Okay. At this point, you're kind of in a holding pattern until you get those 4 lands. You did say it was a mid-range game, right?
Yes.
Or mid-range deck. Okay. Go ahead and pull that next one. Let's see where we go from there.
That would go there, and this one will come out.
All right. So now at this point, how many land do you have in that deck?
24.
Do you follow any specific guidelines when you're setting up your deck? Do you put 24 lands in every deck, or are
Yes.
you 24 lands in every deck?
Not unless it's a real weenie deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And cool. Let's do one more card, and then we'll actually see how the deck plays against another deck. There's that 4 mana, and you should be off and running at this point.
Boom. This will come out.
Cool. All right. Well, let's scoop them up, get ready to shuffle them, and I will set up the camera to record our play session. A little secret, I hate watching people play Magic, so I make sure to record that separately so folks don't have to watch that if they don't want to.
Oh, okay.
That's not entirely true. I've learned to appreciate watching some folks play. But before we do that, I do have one final thing to do while you're there.